What is your earliest childhood memory?
Oh my God, I have one.
Okay, what is it?
So I lived in a 2-story house growing up, and I think my brother pushed me over the banister and I fell from the second floor to the first floor and I landed on a pillow. But I don't know if that's a real memory or like an implanted one.
Okay, so I have a very vivid early memory of when Nora Jones's "Don't Know Why" came out.
Oh yeah, I mean
They,
we all remember
they
that.
played that at nap time in 2002, so I was 2, and that's like one of my earliest memories. But I also have vivid memories of me flying as a child.
Okay, that's not real.
It's obviously not real, but I like vividly remember there was a period of time from like the age of like 3 to 6, like when I still lived in Canada. I could fly, and like I was like flying down the stairs. I also have a very vivid memory of my mom's 40th birthday because she dyed her hair this horrible orange and got this ugly pixie cut. Love you, mom. It was
Whoa, I can't
bad.
imagine.
My dad dyed it for her in the bathroom.
Wait, back to the flying though.
Okay.
I do want to investigate this a little bit more. Do you know that video where it's like the little elf puppet and it's like that was me as a baby? Maybe that was you.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. No, okay, I do know that. Okay, here's the thing. I also had very vivid dreams as a child. So I'm like, maybe that was a recurring dream. Because the way that I dreamt as a child was like in kind of consecutive series.
Oh, your dreams were serialized.
Yes.
That's incredible. Okay.
So I had vampire nightmares as a child.
Was there a turning point for you? Like, do you know what ended the nightmares? Because I had a similar experience, but I know what cured it.
I don't know. I really don't know. I think maybe I started to recognize that like a lot of it was anxiety.
Yeah.
And it was like manifesting itself in my dreams because I couldn't like process anxiety as like a child. So I think maybe like once I was able to be like, oh wait, like I need therapy. I think I went to therapy
And that fixed everything.
at 12, I think. No, I have a weird relationship with therapy, but it helped me grow out of the nightmares, I guess. But then I quit, and that's a whole other story. How did your nightmares end?
Oh, my nightmares ended by watching the Saw franchise. Because
And that helped?
That
didn't
helped.
cause? Interesting.
no, it was so weird because up until then, like all the scary things I had in my head were real life incidents that I heard about or like knew people that experienced them and heard real life stories. But then when I watched Saw, I was like, oh, this is all fake. And then they stopped immediately.
Interesting. So you were like, oh, like a nightmare is kind of like a movie.
It's
and
like a movie.
Not real. Interesting. See, I think for me, I experienced I saw someone die, I think, when I
Okay.
was a child. And I think that might have been like where it started.
Yeah, let's dive into that. What?
I witnessed a bicyclist get hit by a truck.
Okay, and they didn't.
I'm not
You didn't
entirely
help?
sure. No, I was a child.
Okay.
I was like literally like a child.
Doesn't really
And it was like a
matter.
city street. And I was like in the backseat of a car. And
And you just left.
Well, I mean, again, I was a
Does that guilt stay with you? Welcome back to the Hoot and Holler podcast. Today we have a very, very special guest. He's someone that you know and love from previous episodes, and he's a major candle collector. On top of that, he plays The Sims.
I wouldn't call myself a candle collector that gives like Scream Queens energy of like that girl who's like, this candle's made of soy wax.
I would say you're like one level below that.
I don't know. I like a Yankee candle. I like a Target candle. When I go to Target, do I buy a candle almost every time? Sure. But I'm not like collecting them. My boss has like 6 candles in his office alone, and I'm like, that's a candle collector.
Okay, well, what's your name?
Oh, hi, I'm Matthew. Nice to see you all again.
You might remember him from the iconic Clue episode. And I've got to say, amongst the people I've polled, it's one of their favorite episodes of the entire podcast.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
That was the first episode that you ever recorded. We just didn't
It was the
air it that
second.
way. Oh, you're so right. That's the
The-
first episode you ever recorded with me.
Yeah, that's true.
That was my first experience. Anyways, we recently did a movie double feature. And we saw Joker 2 and Smile 2.
Yeah, we did.
Now, Joker left me, like, I could have done without it. But Smile 2 made us reflect. It made us think about fictional pop stars?
Fictional pop stars are probably my favorite characters in all of media. It started maybe with the Extremely Goofy movie. Do you remember that guy? I forgot his name, but he was so cool.
I'm gonna be so real. I think that came out when I was
Oh
like,
my God, it was the Goofy movie, not the Extremely Goofy movie.
was there an Extremely Goofy movie?
Yeah, that was the second one where Goofy pretends to be a college age student and then sleeps with his teacher.
Whoa. Was the Goofy movie had to do with his son, no?
Yeah, they both do.
Okay. I have like almost no memory of that.
That's so sad.
I know, it really is. I feel like we need to do like a deep dive because we're 3 years different in age.
Yeah.
And I feel like that somewhat reflects your first experience with a fictional pop star is the Goofy movie. Mine is like the Doodle
Probably.
Bops. Or like...
The Doodle Bops are real pop stars, though. That's the thing.
Are they?
I think so.
What about like High Five? I don't consider that real.
Interesting.
Did you have... You had
Are
High
the
Five.
Doodle Bops pop stars in their universe, or are they pop stars in our universe? I think that's the difference.
I guess so, because both have like kid audiences, like real children watch.
Well, but isn't the Doodle... Like, aren't they bus drivers? Or are they pop stars?
I have no idea.
Because, for example, like... What are the Wiggles? Like, they're not pop stars in their universe. They're just like guys.
That's so valid. So what makes someone a fictional pop star?
They have to be a pop star in their universe.
So like, I guess for me, the most iconic one is Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana.
She was a pop star in the fictional world and the real world.
And the real
she had
world.
a crossover.
Because she toured as her fictional character, and I think that's where things get murky.
Yes, that is valid, but she started fictionally.
Yeah.
And that's what matters.
That's what matters in this conversation. Now, I do want to say, I wish she was honest.
Oh.
I wish she was honest.
You wish she didn't have the secret identity?
Well, yeah, my question is like, how, when she first became Hannah Montana, how did that happen? Like, do the producers and like the studio only know her? Like, did her dad dress her up in the wig and take her to like sell this album? Or how did that happen?
Are you being for real? Like, it's a TV show, babe.
That I'm saying in the TV show universe.
In the TV show universe, yes. I believe the story is she was a 12-year-old girl. Crazy to think too that Hannah Montana started when she was 12. Let's give Miley her
That's
flowers
power.
there. That's an icon. But I believe the story is Miley Stewart wanted to be a pop star, but also wanted to live a normal life of a 12-year-old girl. So they were like, what's the solution? Let's come up with a fake identity. Because basically, it's the inspiration is Dolly, who is Miley's godmother in real life.
Okay.
But like Dolly Parton is not, that's not her. Like she takes off the wig, she takes off the makeup, she's a normal girl. Like nobody knows what Dolly Parton looks like.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Dolly Parton created herself and her image after like the town whore.
Oh.
And she was like she's done interviews about this, but she was like, there was this woman in her hometown when she was growing up and everyone was like, oh my god, like nobody wants to be like her, she's a tramp. And she was like, oh my god, she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, I want to be like her. So she doesn't have like an alternate identity, but she just like, when she's not wearing the makeup and she doesn't have the wig on, like nobody knows who she is. She can walk around in day to day, go get a slushie if she wants, and nobody's going to question it. And so like that was the idea behind Hannah Montana. It was like, it was a 12-year-old little girl who wanted to grow up, go to school, live her life, but also wanted to be a pop star.
I had no clue about the Dolly Parton thing.
I know,
That's
you
interesting.
learn something new every day.
Yeah. Okay. So the studio and like the record label helped her craft this identity.
I don't really know, but whatever the story is, it led to a great pop star. And she is the only artist, I believe, to have charted or topped the Billboard Hot 100 under 3 different names.
Oh, Ashley O.
She was Miley, she was Hannah, and she was Ashley O.
Yeah. Ashley O was from a Black Mirror episode where she played yet another fictional pop star. And I think like her brain was transplanted into like an AI, almost like Siri-esque robot thing in people's homes.
Yeah, and she was in a coma.
I think they put her in a coma so that she would be complicit.
And then they were using the AI thing to make songs.
Something
but they
like
were
that.
like, oh, like these are her songs that she... No, something happened. Was it like drug overdose? I feel like it was dark because it was Black Mirror, but like she was
Yeah.
in the coma, and then they were like, these are the songs that are in her mind, and like it was like supposed to be like a beautiful thing, but like really she was like a prisoner to her own brain, and they were like cranking out music through like AI.
You know, they're doing that with Walt Disney right now.
Cranking out, he's coming out with an album.
Yeah, he's coming out with a new album.
Oh my
no,
gosh.
at Disney World, they used to have, I think it was like the Hall of Presidents or something, but they're going to tear it down. And it's now going to be like an afternoon with Walt Disney. And they're going to write like new dialogue for him to speak. And then they're going to use AI to create the speech in his voice. So they're like putting fake words into like a dead person's mouth.
That's interesting. I feel like that's like a moral conundrum, but also like kind of fascinating that we have the technology to do that. Like I kind of love that for us, but also like
I don't. That's so scary.
It's weird, but I feel like with Walt Disney, like he froze his head to eventually be thawed.
We don't know that's true.
I feel like it's 100% true, and I have no evidence to back that up, but I feel like it's 100% true. He just gives that energy, so I feel like he would be fine with it, and I'm sure he like signed something being like, you have the rights to my body or something, because he's Walt Disney.
When I die, do I want people to be using my voice to create stories? Yeah, probably.
Right? Like, I feel like in a way it's kind of like an honor.
As long as like my estate is being paid accordingly, like, yeah, continue to profit off of me for like, go on.
But that's the thing. It's like, it's Disney World doing it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's his empire. So I'm sure like his estate is involved. Like that would be like if they used your voice at Steinman Land. Like obviously they're going to use
which
your
will
voice.
be coming.
Of course, once the Hoot and Holler podcast like really takes off.
The first thing I'm going to do when I reach that level of success is build a theme park. I don't understand why every celebrity doesn't have a theme park besides Dolly Parton, but
Dollywood, we need to go.
Yeah,
Have
we
you
do need
been?
to go. No, I've never been.
Okay, I feel like that's like something on our bucket list to do.
But like, how fun. Start small, sure, but like, why do all these people not have theme parks? It confuses me.
I could see that. But yeah, Ashley O was an AI pop star, I guess, in a way, but she was also not AI. She was like sometimes AI. But then we have Lady Raven, who we just witnessed. Here's the thing about Lady Raven.
Okay.
She is like the ultimate nepotism creature, and she ate with it. Like the fact that
I don't know what makes her more nepotism than any other nepotism.
The fact that her father made an entire film for her to write an entire album, and basically the entire movie was her album.
Well, yeah, that's why they called the movie Trap.
Exactly. But that is like the ultimate nepotism. Like that would be like if Maud Apatow's parents were like,
which they did.
I mean, I guess.
Cast her in a movie. Well, first of all, for people who don't know, we're talking about the movie Trap by M. Night Shyamalan.
Icon.
And it released this year, 2024. And it stars his very own niece, who
is his daughter, no?
Oh, it's his daughter?
I'm like literally almost 100% positive. Do I fact check?
No, we don't have time for that.
She is his daughter.
Okay, so he wrote this movie. It's about a fictional pop star named Lady Raven, who is played by his very own daughter. And his daughter was a singer before this. Like, she has multiple albums that have been released, but clearly they didn't catch on.
And the entire movie is formatted in a way that we're at one of her concerts. So the nice thing about this pop star is that the entire movie is basically her entire album.
I feel like in movies where there's a fictional pop star, you'll get like one song. Maybe
so
like
true.
30 seconds of performance, and it's just happening in the background. No, the first hour of this movie is just a concert film. Like, we're watching her numbers on stage almost to completion.
That's the thing. And it's like, it's fun because like, it's almost like watching like Taylor Swift's Era Tour movie.
Yeah, but good.
But like, period. It's almost like watching like a concert film, but like in between the songs, like the dad and daughter are like, should we jump into this manhole or no? And it's just like, it's the most random thing, but it's like, she will have like full songs and it'll literally just cut to like girls screaming in the audience. And you're like, wait, like this is actually kind of good. Like, I won't lie. I think I have 5 of her songs in my Spotify playlist right now.
Oh, this movie fully converted me into a fan. And that's what's crazy because I had no clue that this was his daughter until the end of the movie and the credits were rolling. But I was like, is Lady Raven a real artist? Because I wanted to add all those songs. It was a full album they were playing. Like, it was a full tour.
I think she literally has like 10 songs.
Yeah, it's a full album. Immediately after the movie, I went, downloaded the album. They are bops.
They're
certified.
So good. There's some that are a little slow for me. So it's like more R&B inspired pop, I would say. And for me, I like an upbeat song that like kind of makes me want to like do a little jig or something.
Yeah, of course.
She has some that are like very much like, and that to me, I don't love. Whoa, I don't get into that.
I think her slow songs are fun though, because I feel like these days the slow songs are also sad, but hers are more like, they're like slow and sensual. They're still kind of exciting.
It was very sensual. I thought she was 12.
Oh yeah, she looks very young. She looks
so young, and she was wearing these really big boots. When I think of Lady Raven, I think of her in those big boots.
The big boots.
She's wearing big boots. She's like 4'11", I think, maybe like low 5 feet.
Yeah,
she looks like a little girl in her mom's heels.
Her eyes are so big.
She's so cute. She's very pretty, but I thought she was younger than she is. She's like 28. She's like your age.
Yeah, I think it's the eyes that do it, because they're just they make her look like really young and innocent. And I don't know. Yeah, I think of the boots, I think of the eyes, and then I think of her like in this murderer's living room, like really taking control of a situation. This was my favorite plot point. Like, she played a song to stop a serial killer from killing her. And that's the power of music.
No, like that's it. And not only was it to stop the serial killer from killing her, but it was like to expose him to his family. His
family didn't know he was a killer until she played that song.
She's genius. Like, she absolutely, and then she like stole his phone and was like, let's take a picture, right?
Well, the whole thing is that she risked her life. This pop star risked her life to save one man in a basement.
Which is like iconic.
Imagine if Lady Raven came and saved you from a basement.
That would be everything. It was like crazy. She kept getting like into trouble and then out of trouble. And like, I don't know, for me, I'm like, I would not have followed the serial killer home. I would just be like, let me get the heck out. And then like, I'll call the authorities later. She was like, she went on Instagram Live and like got her fans to rally.
Yeah.
I am like, she literally had Taylor Swift level fame and like used it for good. Like, that was refreshing.
Taylor Swift would never put her life on the line. I'm sorry. For a fan. This wasn't even a fan. This was just a rando.
It was a man locked. I don't know. Well, yeah, probably not her life, but I'm sure she'd call the proper authorities if she saw a man tied in the basement.
I don't know about that.
But Lady Raven took it one step further, and she said, let me put myself in direct harm's way. She was like following him around, and like, I don't know. She like got out and then was like, she got into the car with him at one point, and she was like, she started talking to him as if she was his mother. Like, she was doing the most, and it was amazing.
Oh yeah, because at the end of the movie, she kind of revealed like, by the way, I'm an amateur psychologist. I've been analyzing you this whole time. You have mom problems.
You have mommy issues.
And then she like kind of went into that role to trigger him.
Yeah, she was like, no, you are a bad boy. And he like reacted. I don't know.
She's a genius on so many levels.
Both
musically and
stopping serial killers and in her music. Like,
and the concert, like, I wanted to be there. The dancing was good. The outfits were good. It was a very minimal stage design, but I did appreciate that.
You wanted to be her dream girl.
I did want to be her dream girl.
You turned to me and you said, I want to be her dream girl.
So every stop on her tour, she brings one special guest onto the stage to be her dream girl, and they do a dance together. They sing together. And I wanted that to be me. It was kind of like Justin Bieber's One Less Lonely Girl.
Absolutely.
But a little less like predatory.
And again, it was so interesting because it was like, as the concert's playing, it's like the dad's going and like burning people with air fryers. And you're just like, oh yeah, like a crime is happening, but like Empathize is playing in the background. And you're like, wait, like I'm kind of grooving to this, but also this song, like witnessing someone die. Mm-hmm. It was very, very interesting. But I don't know if you're as chronically online as I am, but I have been seeing all of the Smile 2 promo.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Everybody's saying like Skye Riley has killed Lady Raven. Like, Lady Raven.
No, they haven't.
They literally have. The entire society. Because I think when this movie came out, people were like, oh, like, it's M. Night. He doesn't necessarily have the greatest track record of like making constant good movies. Like, it's like he makes one hit, one flop, one hit, one flop.
It depends on your definition, but sure.
This was a hit to me.
Of course.
But I think people just loved Smile 2 so much, and it's become such a phenomenon with like the promo, like everything. It's eating up the charts.
Yeah, Smile 2 was fantastic. The whole movie is about a pop star who gets caught in this kind of like, what are those, like those chain emails, you know?
Oh my goodness. Like, if you don't send this to 10 people tomorrow, you will die.
Yeah. And so she witnesses a murder. She gets caught up in this chain email, and now she is destined to kill herself.
Which is
basically
so dark.
It's really dark.
And it's so psychological because, like, she gets into the cycle of, like, when you see someone die, you unalive yourself and you do it in front of a person so that then the curse moves on to them, and then, you know, the chain continues.
You must have a witness.
But what's interesting is, like, she's already mentally unwell, so it gets to a point where it's like, how much of what we just watched was real and like from the curse, and how much of it was her just going through psychosis, which I think was kind of interesting and intriguing. And then obviously at the end she falls victim to the curse, and she does it at her concert, which is crazy.
Yeah, she unalives herself in front of thousands and thousands of people in the audience.
But that's the thing, is now on TikTok people are like there's a scene where she runs out of like the hospital with like a gun, and it's like people, and they're like at like the place where that filming took place, and they're filming, and they're like, oh my god, like I just saw Skye Riley run out of this place with a gun, like what's going on? And then everyone else is like, oh yeah, like we just went to her concert and like it was crazy, like it was real, like eye popping or something, because like she pops her.
Wait, I'm so confused. What are you talking about?
The social media trends that's happening with this.
So it's like people are cosplaying. She's a real
as if she is a real physical artist, and they are witnessing her out in the wild, and that has become the new promo for the film.
That's fun. I do love a little role play. That's really fun.
They're role playing as like actual fans.
Yeah,
and like, I'm gonna say it, like I have a sneaking suspicion that Blood on White Satin might be my number one song when my Spotify Wrapped comes out this year.
Oh, I love that's the main song that's in all the promotion for Smile 2, and it's a very good song. I do want to get into like the psychology, I guess, of fictional pop stars.
Okay, please.
And my analysis of them. So I think the reason that fictional pop stars resonate with me personally is that they give me everything I want from a pop star, like unashamedly, because they're not real. So like,
what word did you just use?
Unashamedly.
Is that a word?
Isn't it?
I don't know. Is it? English isn't my
like
first language.
Unashamed, but turned into an adverb.
Interesting. Okay, sure.
I don't know. Listeners, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's a word.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
Yeah. So for example, Hannah Montana, just every single song on her album is a bop. Lady Raven, every single album is a bop. I think Skye Riley is where it gets weird, because they almost tried to make her like a real artist, where they were diversifying her album a little bit, and that's why her songs fell a little bit flat. But I like, when I want a pop star, I just want like good, catchy tunes. I don't want to think about the message of the song. I don't want to think about the lyrics. I just want to like scream along to it and like have a fun dance track. And that's all I really want. But real artists out here are like, oh, like I need to have a message, and I need to put Easter eggs, and I need to like deliver an experience. But the experience I want is just fun.
You want fun, good music. I get that.
I like hyper overproduced, like bubblegum, like written by a studio. That I love that. And I think that's so fun.
See, but that's the thing. Lady Raven's music was not written by the studio. It was written by Salika.
And I think that's what makes her a star in my mind.
I think, is it Salika or Saleka? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Whatever her name is. Girl boss, queen. I love you. But yeah, she like wrote, I think, almost all of those songs by herself. And then some had one other writer, which is like incredible. But I get what you're saying, and I also think like a fictional pop star leaves room to like not disappoint you, because I feel like there's so many times where like, let's say your favorite pop star like does something and then they get canceled, and you're like, well, now I can't enjoy their music. You don't have to worry about that, because these people aren't real. They're not real. Skye Riley's not going to get canceled. Like, did she commit S-word in front of an entire audience of teenage girls? Absolutely. But will we cancel her for that? No, because she's not real. And I think that's kind of beautiful in a way as well.
Yeah. It's just powerful to see, like, I don't know. I love the manufactured feeling. I love the overproduced sound. I love the just performance aspect of it. Like, you're getting everything you want from these fictional characters. And I really wish in this modern day we had like a pop star who could rise to that level. I really do.
Do you think that you're up for the challenge? Do you think
I
it
think I
could be
am.
you?
I think it could be.
I don't know. I feel like Charlie XCX in a way right now.
No.
You don't. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
She almost feels fictional to me.
No.
Okay. Well, we can disregard that idea then. My bad.
Yeah, no, she's not giving me what I need.
She's giving me what
star.
I need. We love a brat summer. But yeah, I guess you're right in the sense that I like the fact that there isn't necessarily a deeper meaning in these songs, but also like I almost like the way like all of Skye Riley's songs, like if you listen to the word, they're like spoon feeding you the plot of the movie.
Yes, I love that.
I think that is the funniest thing where it's like literally like in New Brain, she's like, I'm losing my mind. And I'm like, period, yeah, you are. Like, absolutely. Blood on White Satin. She's like,
I'm holding glass and it could break, and literally the glass breaks in the movie.
Can we talk about how that movie was literally an entire ad for Voss water? Iconic.
Yes, that was crazy.
That
how
was
much do you think
so
they made
good.
on that? Like millions, right?
Millions of dollars. And that
insane.
was great marketing because
They
you know
probably
what I
funded
did?
the whole movie.
I left the theater and I bought Voss.
Did you really? I was thinking about it.
I didn't, no. But I did have to buy Voss for, there was a celebrity who only drank Voss. So I actually did purchase Voss this week, but it wasn't for myself. It was for someone at work. I love the way that they literally spoon fed me the plot. I thought that was so fun. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they kind of did that too with like Ashley O, where she was kind of basically just saying like, it was stupid. It was dumb. And she was like, I'm on a roll, riding so high. Like, it's just like me being a pop star and like cranking out music. Like that was what it was giving.
And I think that also gets to the heart of like the Disney Channel pop star as well, because a lot of these people who started on Disney Channel, so we can think of like Vanessa Hudgens, Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, like their early albums where they were still part of the Disney machine, I think were also so catchy and so good because they are just these like detached from reality, like weird studio manufactured pieces of art, and I love that so much. I agree with
some. I don't think I would put Demi Lovato into that category though.
What?
No, okay, because here's the thing. I love Demi Lovato's music, but like even at the beginning, La La Land is basically a political commentary on the pop music industry, and like she's saying like, I'm not going to fit into your mold. Don't Forget is like a super sad song. These are not like, those songs were not detached from reality. Whereas like Sneaker Night by Vanessa Hudgens, like, you know what I mean? There was a deeper meaning to Demi's songs, whereas like Sneaker Night or like It's All Right, It's Okay by Ashley Tisdale, or like TTYL XOX by Bella Thorne, like those songs did not have any meaning. I think Demi from the start had a little bit more of a deep,
I guess so, but still it didn't feel
it was
like
still teeny bopper.
Someone like really trying to make a statement. It was like, this is fun.
It was fun.
It was for the fun of it, not for the art of it. And I think that's what I like.
Yes. We like to make music for the fun. We don't need to have a deeper message all the time. Pop stars take themselves too seriously now.
Yes.
And I'm like, just be a pop star.
That's what I think is so interesting, because I don't know if this is like real life or just in media, but I feel like you always get the storyline of a pop star who like the label is forcing them to put out another album, and they feel like there's just saying meaningless songs and their heart's not in it, and they want to do something more powerful. And I'm like, girl, just make music, like make fun music and put it out there. That's your job. I don't know. Like, I'm here like working a 9 to 5 in an office, and like I'm not I'm not putting my heart and soul in it. But if my job was to make fun dance music for like the world, just go in and do it.
Especially if you're writing your own stuff. Like, what are you complaining about? This is your creation. I don't know. But shout out to these pop girlies, real and fake.
Yeah.
Fictional and non-fictional. We love you.
We really do. We've made it to our favorite part of the episode, the Hoot and Holler.
Woohoo! We love.
For those of you who live under a rock,
Yikes.
A hoot is the positive thing that you want to talk about, and the holler is the negative thing. We're keeping it really simple today.
Nice and easy, as we should.
How about you start us off with a hoot?
Okay, so my hoot for today is like growing up with social media in like the peak of like when social media was still a new thing, between like the years of like 2012 and 2016 when I was in high school, specifically like YouTube of that time. There was something like so simple about just like a stupid YouTuber doing like a
Yes.
get to know me, a draw my life,
Oh, I
an
love Draw My
accent
Life.
challenge, like a YouTube collaboration in like 2013 where like Troye Sivan and Connor Franta would like give us their hot takes.
Yeah.
There's nothing better.
YouTube content was so simple back
It was the
then,
peak.
and I loved it. It was like these YouTubers were just whipping out their like MacBook 2008, turning on their iSight web camera and going to town.
A nobody could become like an internet sensation. And it
Mhm.
just like was so simple and so like innocent in a way.
Yeah, I feel like those early YouTubers, like they were doing it for fun. And YouTube was fun back then. And nowadays, like if you're getting started, this is your career. Like people don't go into YouTube now just because like, oh, I just want to post a video for fun. It's like I have seen the blueprint. I have seen Mr. Beast. I've seen all these people get millions and millions and millions of followers. So I have to go in with the right microphone, the right camera. I have to be well produced, well edited. But back then, yeah, you just whip out your laptop, you film a quick little video with your friends, and you post it with like minimal editing or minimal lighting. Like you didn't need anything back then.
You would post like a lip sync to a sped up song and you'd get like 10 million views. And I'm like, it's so cute. And you'd film it on iMovie and like you'd call it a day. And I feel like what you're touching on there, where you're like, now it's like instantly that's your career and like you don't go in it for the fun of it, is a phenomenon that like we're seeing everywhere. Like even like reality TV and like dating shows.
Oh,
People
yeah.
don't go on The Bachelor to like find love. They go on to become famous. And I'm just like, what does society come to that's all we're looking for? And I feel like early YouTube era really encaptures the essence of like just living life and doing crazy things for funsies. What's your hoot?
This week, my hoot is doing Sudoku at the gym. So there's this thing in like fitness, it's called a superset, and it's when you interchange like two exercises at the same time. So maybe you'll do like dumbbell curls and then immediately do like tricep extensions. And supposedly like hitting the two different muscle groups in the arm back to back is supposed to like help somehow.
Okay.
But in this case, I'm supersetting my body and my brain. So I'll do like a couple reps of a bicep curl and then I'll go to my Sudoku, complete a puzzle. And I think that's really like helping me not only fuel my body, but also fuel my mind. And I'm trying to create like a more holistic approach to personal health and wellness.
I kind of love that. Are you doing Sudoku on an app, or is it like, are you coming with like one of those little booklets with a little
No,
pencil?
I'm not cringe like that. I do it on my phone. I typically use the New York Times app. They give you 3 Sudoku puzzles a day, ranging from easy, medium, and hard. And once those are complete, I have a second Sudoku app called Sudoku Plus, and it just feeds me endless puzzles.
I
can
love
go all night
Sudoku,
long.
and I've always been really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Should we compete?
We should do a competition.
We should do a competition someday.
That's something though. Okay, leaderboards stress me out. This is not my holler, but I do just want to address it.
Period.
I have a solitaire app, and at first like I was just doing solitaire for the fun of it, like I enjoyed it, but then they introduced this leaderboard. And now every time I go on, I get stressed because I'm like, if I don't finish this puzzle in under a minute, like what's the point? Because it's not going to be on the leaderboard.
That's the thing.
So then I
No,
give
that's
up
so
on the
fair.
puzzle halfway through, and I'm just like, next.
Is it a leaderboard of like other people
No,
using
just
the
me.
app? Interesting.
Just me.
So you don't like the idea of like, oh, I need to beat my personal best.
That's how I feel like I do need to beat my personal best, but then I feel like that makes it more stressful
It
than
takes
fun.
the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Because I'm like, I used to just complete a puzzle and feel accomplished, but now it's like, no, if I'm not going to be on the leaderboard, I'm just going to start the next puzzle and try again.
That's so fair.
Because what's the point?
That
like,
is
yay,
so
you
valid.
did it, but you did it in 3 minutes when last time you did it in 1.
See, that's the thing is like I can't do things like that on an app because I will cheat.
How?
So like the New York Times things, like there's the mini.
Yeah.
I do the mini every day.
Me too.
But there's I do it with my dear friend Gail, icon queen. She's 70 years old. Don't ever tell her this, but I cheat. There's a way to have it auto check, so it'll tell you if what you're typing is wrong as you're typing it. So then, like, you don't have to, like, second guess it. It's like, oh, wait, no, that's wrong. And then you just change it.
Well, what's the point of doing it then?
Well, that's the thing. I do it because it's what you're saying, where it's a leaderboard, but I'm competing against a 70-year-old woman, and I'm like, I must win. And I'm taking the fun out of it. Whereas, like, for me, like, growing up, like, doing Sudoku in a little booklet, I was like, this is so fun, and I feel satisfied because I completed the puzzle. As soon as you put a timer or, like, a competitive spin in front of me, I will do anything to win, even if it's not honest.
How about we move on to our holler then?
So my holler is kind of specific, and it's kind of aimed at you. So Halloween is, like, rapidly approaching. It's, like, right around the corner. And don't get me wrong, I love Halloween. Love Halloween. But once Halloween is done, I want to put up my Christmas tree. And my holler is people who judge me for wanting to have fun and experience joy however I want in the sense of a Christmas tree. I want to put up my Christmas tree November 1st. And I don't see why that's an issue.
Idea.
I think it's so fun. It's so pretty. I want to listen to, like, Sia's Christmas album. Let me play some Candy Cane Lane November 1st.
I think it's tacky. It's premature.
It's
fall.
It makes me happy.
Fall. We're not
it
in
brings
the
me joy.
Winter season.
Okay, that is valid. I would say, like,
Winter does not start until after Thanksgiving, and I don't want to see a Christmas tree until that turkey is packed away and in the fridge.
But here's
for your
the thing:
leftover sandwich.
Thanksgiving is so blah. Who cares?
What?
Who cares? I can't eat the food because I don't eat meat. It's just not for me.
Thanksgiving is the best holiday. In my opinion,
Thanksgiving is, like, so last year, and I want to put up my Christmas tree.
Yeah,
who are you to judge me for my happiness?
I'm not going to support you on this.
Don't
I really do
yum.
think you're, like, cutting off a whole major holiday from the calendar, which is okay because, like, Halloween, I'm like, put your Halloween decorations out, like, mid-August. I think that's fine, but that's because we have nothing to look forward to between, like, 4th of July and Halloween.
Okay, but then once I take my Halloween decorations down after Halloween is over, what do?
Your big cornucopia goes up.
I am not putting up a cornucopia.
Why not?
That's ugly.
Inflatable turkey.
No. Oh my God.
That's you serious?
Another holler number 2, inflatable lawn decoration.
Oh, I love those.
I cannot. I hate them with a passion. I think they're so tacky. I hate the noise that they make while the air is blowing in them. It's just like, I don't know.
Oh, see, one day when I become a CEO and I can finally afford a house, I will be, like, populating my entire lawn with
that to me is, like,
inflatables.
The ugliest possible thing. Decorate it cutesy. Decorate it demure. Don't decorate it with tacky inflatable things that you bought at Home Depot.
You can't call my inflatable turkey tacky when you're putting up a Christmas tree November 1st.
Okay, I'm not actually going to be putting up my Christmas tree November 1st, but, like, mid-November, once I'm kind of like, oh, the year is almost over.
Faux Christmas trees have really ruined this and have, like, warped people's perceptions of when holidays should start, because back then, like, when we were using real trees, that tree would be dead by Christmas. There is right. Like, a specific timeline when things are supposed to occur according to the laws of nature, and I think, like, our man-made, like, weird faux trees are really skewing things, and I can't get behind this. I can't.
I only grew up with faux trees, though, again, because I spent half of my time in Canada for the holidays and half in the United States, so we couldn't water our trees, so we had to get fake trees. So I'm just
if that tree is up before Thanksgiving, I will not be coming over.
I actually am kind of conflicted on this as well.
Okay,
though.
Thank you.
No, just because I get what you're saying, but also, like,
it's erasure. This is like when Cynthia Erivo's eyes were...
Oh my God.
I can talk about that, right? My holler this week is the one and only Buddy Velasco. And there's nothing that he's done recently that made this a holler, but there's just something about him that I don't vibe with.
I have genuinely no
Buddy
idea
Velasco,
who that is.
The cake boss. The cake boss, Buddy Velasco.
Oh, is he the guy that goes, they call me Buddy, I'm the boss?
Yes.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, well, first of all, you're 50 years old and you're going by Buddy. Like, that's a red flag.
Does he host a cake making competition? I don't really understand.
No, so he has like a bakery, I guess. And then they made a reality show about him working at the bakery. And mostly
So it's like
about
Vanderpump
him.
Rules, but at a cake shop.
No, because it's less interpersonal drama and more like client drama.
Interesting.
So it'll be like a client comes, they want a cake for their wedding or their special event, and then Buddy and his team have to make it.
So like Pawn Stars, but with cake.
Yes, that's a good comp.
Okay.
There we go. So you see the vision, but I've got to say, okay, so I watched a lot of Food Network, and there was a competing show called Ace of Cakes with Duff. And Duff was
Duff Goldman?
Is that his name? I don't know. Duff, he was a baker.
I think I know Duff, like actually like personally.
Okay, well, he was great. And that show was incredible. And then I went and I saw The Cake Boss, and I was like, these cakes are uninspired. They're not creative. They're not well done. But why does he have a reality show? Like, I wasn't impressed by his cakes ever.
See, I wish I could participate in this conversation more, but I genuinely don't know what you're talking about. But I'm sorry that the cakes underwhelmed you.
They did. They just weren't good cakes. And I don't think he was a great personality.
Is this like a current, like this is an old show, right? Like 2010s?
The show I think is old, but like he still exists as a person. Like he's still out there.
Is he like on
and I
TikTok?
think that's why I'm sure he is. And that's why he's my holler this week, because I know Buddy Velasco is out there. And that scares me.
You know who I thought you were talking about when you said Buddy Velasco
Who?
for some reason? I don't know why, but just the name. You know the Costco guys? The dad and son?
Oh, God.
I could see the dad being named Buddy Velasco. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's the same. That's the exact energy we're talking about.
See, but I think the Costco guys are so fun.
Are you serious?
I think they're cute. They like they're like that to me is like people going on the internet just having fun. Like that's
they are so. Have you seen the behind the scenes clips?
I guess, yeah. No, it's,
that is pure business.
It's so
They're
sad
so
because like
scary.
in my mind, like wouldn't it be fun to like go to Costco with your dad and get like what are they called? A chicken
bake.
Getting a chicken bake
And a double
biting
chocolate
into it.
chunk cookie.
And that just seems like it could be so fun and like a nice
It could be so
moment.
fun until you make
I think
it your
you're
career.
right. I think I saw a video of them kind of like bickering over like the wording that they were saying, and I'm like,
They did like 40 takes because the kid
wild.
was, and a fresh cookie every time. Do you know how many cookies that kid had to eat that one afternoon at Costco?
Okay, well that sounds like my dream. So honestly, kudos to
I
them.
don't think, because when you see like movie stars and they have to do like 40 takes, they spit out, like, and they're eating, they spit out the food usually because it's like, I can't eat another bite of this burger.
Interesting.
And I'm sure it's the same thing. I wonder if they actually eat the food. Like, how many chocolate chunk cookies do you need to eat to like understand what a chocolate chunk cookie is?
I had 3 chocolate chunk cookies today.
Okay.
They look like they both could be named Buddy Velasco, so that's who I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, that's not who I'm talking about,
Okay.
but I think it does give a great image of like Buddy's energy.
Is he Italian?
He's Italian. He's aggressive. He's loud.
Does he make his cake with a lot of fondant?
Oh, it's all fun. I mean, they call it a cake, but really it's just like Rice Krispie treats covered in fondant, and like maybe there's one layer of cake.
I think like a cake can really be beautiful if done right.
Yeah, because, okay, Duff made like cake. Duff made good cake and they decorated it like incredibly well. Buddy Velasco was like, yeah, we'll do like one like sheet cake at the bottom. And then because this is like a quote unquote like structural element, it's going to be entirely made of Rice Krispie treats and modeling chocolate. And no one's eating that at the function.
Again,
No one's eating
shout
it.
out, Buddy. I don't know who you are.
No, this is not a shout out to Buddy. Buddy, if you were out there.
Oh? I think the lesson that I've learned is if I buy you a birthday cake, I will not be buying it from the Cake Boss. And that's fine.
And that's fine. And
I'll
I
get
think
it from Susie Cakes.
I'm
We
just
love
putting
Susie.
I'm just submitting a PSA for everyone that Buddy Velasco is still out there. And we cannot forget that fact.
Should I be scared? I don't know who
Yes.
this is.
You should be scared.
I wouldn't recognize him on the street. Should
You
I
would.
be worried?
You would. Just look for a loud Italian.
That's a combination I've never seen before.
Just look for a loud Italian in like a little baker's outfit. And he'll probably be saying, I'm Buddy Velasco. I'm the cake boss.
They call me Buddy. I'm the boss. Is that the intro of the show?
I think it is, yeah.
Okay, that's the only thing I know.
I actually heard a rumor that he has like mafia connections.
Oh, all right. Well, You heard it here first on the Hoot and Holler podcast. Eric is confirming those rumors are true.
And I actually heard that, like, okay, so that one of the, like, people in control of the Food Network, like, ran into some shady business.
Okay.
And the mafia was like, listen, my cousin, Buddy Velasco, has always wanted a show. We will not kill you if you put this show into production on the Food Network. And bada bing, bada boom, we end up with The Cake Boss airing Monday nights at 8 p.m. Primetime viewing with Buddy Velasco.
They call me Buddy. I'm the boss.
I don't support criminal funding
Alleged
of television content.
Allegedly.
And Buddy Velasco, I just hope you're making better cakes now and you're not using as much Rice Krispie treats, because that is cheating.
I don't know. I do love a Rice Krispie treat.
If you ordered a wedding cake
and it came Rice Krispie,
and you were cutting, like, everyone circles around the table to watch you slice that cake, and it's just a Rice Krispie treat with some fondant on it.
They knew they were getting a Rice Krispie treat.
I don't know. I don't think so.
That's false advertising. He could have been sued.
Yeah.
I'm sure if people didn't know what they were getting, he would have been in trouble. I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure they sign NDAs. And he has mafia connections, so you're not exactly going to come out and be like, Buddy Velasco gave me a Rice Krispie cake.
You're so right. Allegedly.
His victims were silenced.
Allegedly, they were.
Silenced.
Allegedly.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening to the Hoot and Holler podcast. We had so much fun talking to you guys this week, and I really hope you go out there and you re-listen to all of Hannah Montana's discography.
Oh my God, it is so good. Also, listen to some of the newer people. Listen to Lady Raven. Listen to Skye Riley. Listen to Ashley O. Dip your little toes back into the music industry of the fake people.
Yeah, please go support more fake pop stars, because we need more fake pop stars in our real world.
We need people to be more fake. I think that's the moral of this episode.
Yeah.
Being fake is in, being real is out.
Yeah, get out of here with your, like, moody, artistic, thoughtful lyrics.
We don't want to see art. We want to see fun.
Yeah.
Let's be fun. Let's make music that just makes you want to dance. And I think that's not too much to ask for.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
And also thank you, Matthew, for coming for yet another fun podcast episode.
Oh my God, it was truly a pleasure. Let's do it again sometime.
Listeners, if you've made it through the entire episode, please give us a like. Please subscribe, follow us, watch us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You know where to find us, and we'll be back with a new episode real soon. But I think right now we gotta go.
We gotta go. Especially after you just insulted me. I gotta go.
What did I say?
You told me. I don't know what you said. I can't remember.
I don't think I've insulted you once in my entire life.
I'm almost positive that you said something along the lines of, like, stop talking. But maybe I created that in my own mind.
Okay, weird.
Anyways, I gotta go. We gotta go. Let's go. Bye.